There and welcome to the Making Effective Plans session today. I'm excited that you're able to join me on this one. I'm confident that your greatest needs are about to be met. Before we begin today, I'd like to remind you to please subscribe. Click on the subscribe button at the bottom of this video and as well as the notification button so that you can always get updates whenever we upload videos for you to view as promised. Today as well, at the end of this video, we're going to be deploying some tools that will be relevant and helpful to help you get started in making effective plans. Once again, you are welcome, and my name is Ayo Akinrotimi. Today, we're going to be looking at making effective plans. There are plans and there are effective plans. Not all plans are effective. Plans that work are effective plans. And so we want to see how to move from just making plans to making effective plans. What are we going to learn today? Number one, we're going to see the benefits of planning. Why should we plan? Then how not to plan, and of course how to plan. And at the end, we're going to talk about simple tools, practical tools that can help you get started. The first thing I like to start with today is what planning is not. You see, in life, even if you do not know what you want, you must at least know what you do not want. And so what planning is not. I like to state categorically that planning is not worrying. Planning is not worrying. I believe that worrying is what you do about a circumstance that you have no control over. Someone, like you will rightly see on the graphic displayed on your screen now, has put this together in a very beautiful way. He's asked a question, and guess what the question is? He says, do you have a problem in life? If your answer is no, then why worry? But if your answer is yes, there's a further question to ask, and that question is, can you do something about it? If you say yes, then why worry? Can you do something about it? If your answer is no, then still why worry? Worry will drain you. Things happen to people, but the people that will succeed are people who won't just sit down worrying about what has happened or the circumstances that have happened or look for who to blame. They are people who will move and take right steps in the directions that they want to go. That's what makes you a winner. That's what makes you an overcomer. An overcomer. Yeah, things come to people, but whether you're able to overcome is another thing entirely. And making effective plans will make you go from things haven't come to you to becoming an overcomer. What then is planning? You know, I found something interesting research in preparing for this material. Someone said planning is the act of making plans. Interesting. It looks to me like planning looks like something that must have been really difficult to define. I found this from a material of repute, you know, where this definition was stated, the act of making plans, and it sounded funny to me. However, I found this one, which I like so much. It says, planning is the process or thinking about the activities required to achieve a desired goal. He went further to say it's the first and foremost activity to achieving desired results. That's Wikipedia. It said that it's the first and foremost activity to achieving desired results. Now, planning is where it all begins. Planning is where it all begins. It's the first and foremost activity to achieving desired results. When you see a magnificent building, a lovely tower, a building of any size, any kind, any design at all, the place where it moves from the ideation stage to reality is first of all in the place of planning. That's why the first thing you create, you design in the building of a structure is a building plan. Yes, you can't live in the plan, but the truth is that from the plan you can build the structure and take things up from there. It begins first with planning. It then means that without a plan you are going nowhere. Without a plan, even if you get somewhere, you can't even measure whether you've succeeded or not. You need to make plans and make effective plans. Now, here is it. Why should you plan? The number one reason why you should plan is that even when you are not making a major leap, every step you take begins to count. Because it's steps taken in the right direction. It will culminate in a goal. It will culminate in a goal. It will culminate in achieving a bigger picture, a goal that is bigger than you. Now, that life is not a sprint, life is a marathon. And so you must know that the entire process is important in achieving desired goals. And so planning helps you take those steps, those baby steps that ensure that everything counts. The next benefit for planning is that planning helps you break down significantly large feats into manageable steps. Sometimes your goals can scare you. Your goals can be so daunting that they scare you. However, planning helps you break them down into simple manageable steps that you can take to achieving them. And thirdly, planning significantly impacts your effectiveness and productivity. That's because, like somebody rightly said, when it comes to winning a war, there are three things that are important: strategy, tactics, and morale. And guess what the greatest of these three is? Is morale. You see, because you don't want to be demotivated. Planning significantly impacts your effectiveness and productivity. When you are motivated, when your morale is intact, when your morale is raised, you have the capacity to impact and improve your effectiveness and productivity. It becomes evident to the world. There is this satisfaction from within that gives you a drive to succeed at other things that you should be doing, because you are making significant steps. They might be baby steps, but you see, you are moving in the right direction, and that in itself is success already happening to you. So, how not to plan? Let's look at how not to plan. How should you not plan? Number one, you must never plan what's none of your business. You must figure out what your business is. When an athlete is involved in a race, that he wins is not the issue, or that he doesn't win sometimes is not even the issue, but that you win and you have won the race in your lane. Crossing your lane could get you disqualified. There are rules when it comes to effective planning, and when it comes to knowing how not to plan, the first one is to never plan what's none of your business. This leads to worrying. Remember what I said about worrying is what you do about a circumstance that you have no control over. Never plan what's none of your business. Number two, never ignore facts when planning. You can't be evasive when you are planning. Don't ignore the facts. Don't ignore the facts. You need to check your plans with reality and make plans without ignoring the facts. Now, people make decisions, but you see, the difference between one decision and another is the amount of information and the quality of information that is available. And so you hear people talk about informed decisions. So when it comes to planning, you can't ignore facts. Those facts are required for you to make effective plans and informed decisions. The next thing is to not choke your plans. Don't choke your plans. Make allowances. Make allowances for your plans. Things happen. Things happen. Don't make it too tight. Be flexible. Allow room for changes. Allow room for changes. Allow room for changes. Make allowances. Circumstances change. Situations change. Excuse me. Technologies change. Things change. And so you should make allowances for in your plans. The next one is to not ignore limitations. Have you ever wondered why there are brakes in a car? I mean, the purpose of a vehicle is to move you from one point to another. Why then install a brake? It's because it's not about just moving from one point to another. It's about getting you from one point to another safely, ensuring that you arrive safely. It's not enough to get from one point to another, but it's really important that you are able to go from one point to another safely. That's the purpose of brakes. Do not ignore your limitations. Do not ignore your limitations. Understand that there are things that you cannot do. There is a limit to what one man can do. Understand what your limits are. Respect those limits and move from there. One of the tools that we're going to deploy is a SWOT analysis tool that will help you figure out what your strengths are and what your weaknesses are, thereby knowing what your opportunities and the threats facing you are. When you are able to do an honest evaluation of yourself, you will figure out what your limitations are and plan within your limitation. If you are married, you have limitations that a single person doesn't have. If you're a business owner, you have limitations that an employee has. And so you must figure out what your limitations are. They help you make effective plans. Now, also, do not plan all in one go. I like to say that. Do not make all your plans in one go. Evolve. Things change. Make room for evolution. How then should you plan? How do we make plans that work? Number one, let your goals be clear and simple. It was Albert Einstein that said that if you cannot explain it simple enough, then you do not understand it well. Don't let your goals not be complex. Let them be simple. Let them be smart, specific, measurable, achievable, realistic, and time-bound. Let your goals be clear and stated in simple words. That way you can make plans towards them, even with baby steps, and achieve significant feats in your life. The next thing is to understand your style. I like this one so much. You are different from every other person on the world. No two human beings are the same. No two grains of sand on the seashore are the same. No two animals are the same. Your right hand is different from your left hand. You are unique. You must understand your style, what works for you. How much risk can you take? Are you risk averse? Do you love taking risks? Are you the type who doesn't like taking risks? You must figure out who you are. You must figure out and understand your style. It's important. Your plans rather are not separate from you. Your plans are not independent of you. You are the ones who will be responsible for executing your plans. Even if you engage people to help you, you will still be responsible for the outcomes of those plans. And so you cannot afford to ignore your style when it comes to planning. Thirdly, you must seek to understand the demands of your plans and measure it against reality. There are demands that achieving certain goals place on you. You must do an honest audit and check it whether you have what it takes to get it done. If you do not, what will you do to enable you achieve this? It's important. You must seek to understand the demands and measure against reality. The next thing I like to say is that you must add timelines. To your plans. Your plans will remain an ordinary wish if you do not attach timelines to it. This world is measured in time: days, weeks, months, years, centuries, millennium. And so you must learn to plan with time, to make timelines, add timelines to your plans. Very, very important. And the last point under that is to get expert advice. You need to get counsel. It's safe when you have so much counsel. Remember I said that the quality of decisions that you make will be a function of how much and what quality of information is at your disposal. You need to get expert advice. Strategy planning is a skill. You can learn from people and take expert advice that will help you make that significant leap in your life and career and business as well. Now, to the tools. At the bottom of this video, like I promised earlier, you would find a link where you can download significant tools that will help you begin to make this move and make effective plans in your life. The first one that I have for you is a daily planner template that you can use to begin to organize your life on a daily basis. See, there is no rocket science to this. You need to start applying these things on a daily basis. That's how you will see progress. That's how you'll be able to measure progress. Daily application of these truths will help you make the significant leap you've always wanted to make. Planning. Now, Next to the daily planner, I've also included a strategic plan for business owners or people who run businesses. There's a strategic planning template that I've included that can help you in your business. Then I have a strategic planning template I've also attached for non-profits. So whether you're running an NGO or there's a social cause that you're fighting for, and you have dedicated your life to it, you still need to make plans. I mean, because you're even not profit, that's even the more reason why you should plan the resources that come to you on how you are going to move and set them in phases and how you are going to move towards achieving your goals. In addition to that, I've also added a SWOT analysis template that can help you make that honest audit of who you are, understanding your style, so that you can begin to make effective plans. I really look forward to your questions, to your comments, to your requests, and don't forget to click on the subscribe button and notifications, because we're going to be coming your way with more videos. And I'd like you to remember, your greatest needs are about to be met. Thank you.